Hi, welcome to the channel. Today's video is titled "We're Not Surprised by Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's Divorce Rumors." We're going to check this video together, and I love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. Let's dive right in.
Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker may have looked solid on the surface since meeting back in 2011, but let's be honest, a lot of us clocked the signs that not everything was peachy in the Burruss-Tucker household. Despite building an empire and starting a family together, something in the Kool-Aid never tasted quite right. Now, with Kandi quietly removing Tucker from her Instagram name and rumors swirling that she hasn't been wearing her ring, it's giving exactly what many viewers suspected all along, that this marriage was holding on by a thread thinner than Shannon Sharpe's self-control in a room full of white women.
Bestie, what the hell? I know Shannon is sick of your behind. I know he hate to see a RG video coming nowadays.
But before we dive in, to give you some better insight into this situation, we have to take you back to 2011, when Todd was working behind the scenes as a production manager on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Kandi was part of the cast. Her co-star Phaedra Parks met Todd first and found him very cute, articulate, nice, and down-to-earth. She thought he would be perfect for Kandi, and she was pushing him to make the first move.
So in other words, he wasn't really interested. That what it sounded like to me. He wasn't interested. You had to push him. Me and y'all ever had to be pushed when y'all wanted a woman? Oh God, I didn't think so.
The cast went on a trip to South Africa, and while there, he and Kandi bonded. When they got back to Georgia, they started knocking boots.
That sounds fun as
While Todd was fine with their casual encounters, Kandi wasn't. While chatting with OWN's Black Love series, she said that she told Todd, "What are you going to do? Do you want to make this a real relationship? I don't really need no new friends." Todd decided to go all in. They kept their relationship on the down low since the cast wasn't allowed to date crew members. But once Kandi decided to take things to the next level, she encouraged Todd to quit his job so they could be loud and proud with their romance. So you're probably wondering what Todd's backup plan was. Well, Kandi made it clear that because she was in love with him, she was prepared to elevate him by joining forces. She said, "I'm a person that if I love you and I'm with you all the way, in my mind, there's nothing that we cannot do together." So yep, Todd resigned, and they started working together to build their empire. But as soon as they went public with their relationship, a woman named Mila revealed that she was Todd's woman until he left her to be with Kandi.
Okay.
According to Mila, she actually pulled Todd aside for a little heart-to-heart about his new situation with Kandi. And the things he allegedly said were pure foolishness. She claims Todd told her Kandi was just a trick, that he didn't like her music, that she couldn't sing, and that she had a fat ass but her face was all right.
Excuse me? Todd, sweetheart, sir, you are 5 foot nothing. Let's not act like you were shutting down rooms on arrival, honey. Okay.
What? What? That's just quite interesting. So, okay, let's continue because I don't want to draw my conclusion yet, but let's continue.
Mila didn't stop there, though. She alleged that Todd was using Kandi as his golden ticket into Atlanta's celebrity circle, and that even while he was cozying up next to Kandi, he was still in Mila's messages telling her he missed her.
Okay.
Phew. If true, this man was playing every angle like he was in the NFL, but instead of yards, he was chasing Bravo checks. Their relationship progressed, and they got engaged during a New Year's Day celebration in January 2013. According to Us Weekly, Todd presented Kandi with a 2-carat diamond engagement ring, and among the party guests were her Real Housewives co-stars and her daughter Riley, who was 10 at the time. The magazine reported that Riley gave her blessing, but that wasn't necessarily true, according to Kandi's mom, Mama Joyce.
Mama Joyce stays stirring the pot, don't she? What'd she say?
During an episode of Housewives, Mama Joyce said,
You know what Riley told me?
Oh, Lord.
You better talk with her about her opinion.
Okay, Mama.
She don't want to say nothing to make you unhappy, but she do not really like Todd.
Mama Joyce also wasn't impressed with the engagement ring Todd purchased, even though Kandi insisted it was the ring she picked out. So let's do a little recap. Phaedra had to push Todd to connect with Kandi. He was only interested in casual smash sessions at first. He said Candy's voice was trash and her face was busted. He was still in another woman's DMs, allegedly, and he bought her a ring that maybe wasn't what she truly deserved.
This is looking like a hot, stinking mess.
As the wedding planning got underway, Kandi wasn't just picking flower arrangements and tasting cakes. She was drafting a prenup so tight it could cut circulation.
Okay.
That sounds tight as hell.
Mm-hmm.
In that paperwork, she made it crystal clear that if things ever went left, Todd wouldn't be touching a single dollar in alimony. And he'd have exactly 30 days to pack his bags and exit her house.
Okay.
Bye, Ashy.
Now, why would a man agree to terms that strict? Was it true love that made him sign on the dotted line without flinching? Or was it the opportunity, the access, the lifestyle, the proximity to one of Atlanta's most powerful women that made those terms easier to swallow, like the way Shannon Sharp swallowed?
Now, Bestie, now listen now. You better stop it. Quit now, girl. You taking these Shannon jokes too damn far with your nasty self. Just nasty. Oh, girl.
When someone signs away every safety net, it usually means one of two things. Either they are head over heels in a fairy tale bubble, or they recognize they have more to gain by staying aligned with the person holding the power. With the prenup ready to go, all Todd had to do was sign it. But he didn't.
You didn't sign?
So what now?
He thought the document was unfair, and that set off alarm bells for Mama Joyce. She called him an opportunist, and during an episode of Housewives, she told Todd that Kandi stepped herself down for him, and a man is supposed to be a provider. Todd responded, I provide love, happiness, stability. And then during an episode at a bridal salon, Mama Joyce lost her damn mind and accused Kandi's assistant Carmen of sleeping with Todd. From there, Mama Joyce took her grievances to the press. In an exclusive interview with Radar Online, Mama Joyce stated she believed Todd would take all of Kandi's money and she wanted nothing to do with the wedding planning. She added,
I just don't feel like Todd is the right choice. I think he manipulative. I tried to shield my child, but I'm tired. I'm over it. I pray to God I'm wrong about him.
Mama Joyce called even more havoc by feuding with Todd's mother, Miss Sharon, before she passed away from a stroke in December 2014. Todd finally signed the prenup at the last minute, and they tied the knot on April 4th, 2014. Despite being in her feelings, Mama Joyce attended the ceremony, which was televised in a 2014 spin-off series called Kandi's Wedding. Following their wedding, Todd told Kandi he was still in his feelings over the prenup. And according to Kandi, the issue caused their intimate activities to come to a screeching halt just 6 months after tying the knot. Now let's really unpack that, because this is where the emotional and psychological layers start layering.
Exactly.
For many men, intimacy is tied to ego, power, and feeling wanted. When Todd signed a prenup that basically said, you have no claim to me, my money, or my life if you leave, it may have subconsciously flipped a switch in him. Even if he agreed to it, the power imbalance was undeniable. Kandi had the resources, the home, the legacy, the spotlight, and Todd stepped into the marriage knowing everything was hers.
Anyways, let me just be honest, because obviously, judging by how celebrities' marriage goes and everything that happens with celebrities and stuff, you understand why lots of them would have a prenup. Again, I believe that if he wasn't comfortable with the prenup and he spoke about it and she went ahead to say, oh, you have to sign the prenup. If he's not comfortable, if he doesn't want to, you would have left and go for another person that will not give him prenup. I mean, is that not how they used to do it? Because again, you signed it, right? So again, there are two ways you want to look at it, but obviously it looks like it's messy. If truly the claims from the ex-girlfriend or the supposed alleged ex-girlfriend, whatsoever that was, if that were to be true, then it's looking like you haven't cleared some mess, and obviously the other party have their right to protect whatever they have. Because that be me, you won't go you still do caricature. Simple.
Can bruise a man's ego in a way he won't admit out loud. Resentment often surfaces in places where people are most vulnerable. For couples, the first thing to crack is intimacy. When a man feels disempowered, insecure, or emasculated, he will withdraw physically because the emotional dynamic makes him feel small.
I mean, he already small. How much smaller can he get? Just I'm asking for a friend.
And if Todd felt like he had no footing in the relationship outside of what Kandi allowed, pulling back sexually could have been his way of reclaiming a sense of control. On the other side, Kandi is a high-achieving, financially dominant woman who leads with logic and structure. But intimacy doesn't run on contracts and clauses. So when Todd hit the brakes, she felt it deeply. It wasn't just a lack of intimacy, it was the emotional distance, the power struggle, the quiet punishment for a prenup she saw as protection while he saw it as rejection. This is the kind of unresolved tension that can follow a couple until it turns into deep resentment. Almost immediately, Kandi was ready to get her eggs cracked and have a baby. However, she told Phaedra that she and Todd weren't even doing enough boot knocking to conceive a child. They finally bumped uglies, and in January 2016, they welcomed their son, Ace. They also welcomed a baby girl via surrogate named Blaze in November 2019. As they adjusted to parenthood, Todd expressed in a video on Kandi's YouTube channel that he felt disconnected from their new daughter. There was a lot happening emotionally that neither of them seemed equipped to handle. When a child is born through surrogacy, some parents, especially fathers, can struggle to form that immediate biological attachment. Mothers often compensate through physical closeness, bonding moments, and the hormonal shifts that support emotional connection. But in this case, Kandi wasn't carrying the baby, so the entire process already felt less traditional, less instinctive, and more clinical. For a man who already felt insecure in his marriage and overshadowed in his household, that lack of a natural bonding moment may have amplified feelings of being unnecessary or disconnected. So instead of leaning into the family, Todd leaned away.
Of course.
Kandi pointed out that he was spending too much time out of the house, clubbing 2 nights in a row less than a week after the baby arrived. And the day after Thanksgiving, he stayed out until the sun came up.
Imagine.
Psychologically, avoidance is what people do when they feel overwhelmed, unseen, or powerless. Todd wasn't getting reassurance from the relationship. He wasn't feeling bonded to the baby, and he wasn't grounded in his role as a father. So
Then you create a system that will work for you and your wife. Is that not how marriage is supposed to be? Because again, you've carried the resentment from the prenup down to the child. Who is gonna suffer? You're suffering yourself, the child is suffering, your marriage is suffering. Why not create a system that will work together where both of you will live together as family? That's like you have to create a system that would work for you.
he defaulted to the environment where he did feel validated. Nightlife, clubs, attention, freedom,
single
ego
anymore.
boosts, and a temporary escape from feeling inadequate. When confronted, he argued that he went out because Kandi wasn't giving him enough attention. So he wasn't just asking for affection, he was asking to feel important. Deep down, perhaps he did feel like he had a meaningful place in the family he helped create. And he chose the wrong coping mechanism to fill that void. Kandi has also expressed concerns about a New Jersey condo that Todd owned, which he was spending time renovating. According to Todd, he purchased the condo with an ex he dated before meeting Kandi. Kandi told her co-stars that whenever Todd visited New York, he would stay in the New Jersey condo and party with all his friends. She also stated that she sometimes worried about him cheating on her. Well, according to her co-star Portia Williams, Todd was allegedly hooking up with women behind Kandi's back. And to hide his identity, he would tell women that his name was Marvin.
Marvin?
As their empire expanded with new businesses, Kandi began to worry that their relationship was becoming more business than pleasure. During a filmed therapy session, she admitted point blank that the intimacy had faded. In her words, they weren't blowing each other's backs out the way they used to, and the distance was starting to feel permanent. Todd, on the other hand, felt unseen in a completely different way. He accused Kandi of not making enough time for their family and claimed that while he quit his job and rearranged his life for her, he didn't feel like she made the same sacrifice in return. To him, everything in their world revolved around Kandi's schedule, Kandi's career, Kandi's spotlight, and Todd was orbiting around it rather than sharing it. He also admitted something deeper. He said he took on a string of new businesses, including their trucking company, because he felt pressure to appease Kandi, Mama Joyce, and Kandi's fan base. He said, "I was able to become a business entity that makes a lot of money. Everybody accepts the money guy. He's good, he's the best, he's this, but I'm not happy." So while the world applauded them as a power couple, Todd was slowly drowning under the weight of expectations and pressure. Once a man starts linking his value to output rather than connection, resentment grows, intimacy dies, and the marriage feels less like a home and more like a business meeting that never ends. So how in the entire helly were they supposed to get this relationship back on track? Well, according to the couple, they've tried to spice things up by inviting other women into their bedroom.
Oh, hell no, they don't listen to this channel. What in the sex dungeon is going on here?
If you're a fan of our messy relationship videos, then you already know that three-way activity is a certified recipe for disaster. As recently as November 2025, Kandi doubled down on their freaky activities, saying there's nothing wrong with threesomes in a marriage and even revealed they had one within the last 6 months. When a marriage is struggling, bringing a third person into the bedroom is the equivalent of trying to give the relationship CPR. It is often a last-ditch attempt to fix intimacy that's already on life support. In a situation like Kandi and Todd's, adding another woman could easily become a distraction instead of a solution. It might have made Todd feel desired again or allowed Kandi to reclaim a spark, but it doesn't heal the root of their issues. So now we have to ask our besties, have you or would you ever invite a third person into your relationship? Leave your comments down below. And don't worry, we won't judge you.
Yes, we will. You might not, but I am. I'm judging. I'm watching and judging and taking notes. Yep.
That brings us to November 17th, 2025. Kandi appeared at BravoCon by herself, and she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. This was when fans noticed that she had removed Todd's last name from her Instagram account, and she hadn't posted any recent images of him since about October. Despite Kandi commenting on Todd's recent picture of him with their children, his recent posts are giving single dad. At the end of the day, none of this is surprising. The signs that Todd was never fully locked in have been blinking like hazard lights for years. The chemistry always felt a little manufactured, with not nearly enough passion. Kandi deserves a love that chooses her without conditions, without clauses, and without needing a third party to keep the flame alive. And Todd deserves to go back to clocking in and working for the man, where he doesn't have to carry the pressure of running a business or deal with Mama Joyce and the internet's constant criticism. So if they really are sliding toward divorce, please don't clutch your pearls. The writing wasn't just on the wall, it was lit up like Magic City on a Friday night. And perhaps releasing Todd back to the streets is exactly what Kandi needs to do. Sometimes stepping away is the only way to reset the energy. They can co-parent their kids peacefully, focus on their own healing, and finally breathe without all the tension. And who knows, once the pressure, the businesses, and Mama Joyce are out of the way, they might even reconnect one day from a healthier place. But right now, a little distance might be exactly what their relationship needs. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.
Okay, let me also say this because lots of the time people confuse all of this relationship from the beginning. If the relationship is hanging on a thread from the beginning, then know that that is it. If your relationship is hanging, or there are so many red flags, do you think by getting married it's going to change or fix that? No, it's going to solidify it. And lots of people know, and both men and women, they know these things. But again, they want it to be like, oh, we can work this out. If you cannot work it out in a relationship, do you think you're going to work it out in the marriage? No, you can't. And then married, inviting third party into your bed, that's next level of doom. Next level. But again, celebrities' marriages are not even surprising when they get to this level, because sometimes people miss the blind spot and ignore the red flags, because potentially they be like, oh, the person is going to change, or it's going to be different when you get married. No, that's not how it works. Because if you can't resolve whatever issues you have going on in your relationship, don't think that by getting married it's going to automatically fix itself, or you're going to find a way around it. Start from the relationship. If you cannot do it in the relationship, then don't get married, because relationship marriage solidifies. It's a bond, it's a union between both parties. You have to speak, you learn how to speak a language that will work for the both of you. And when too many noise is coming in, and lots of you are listening to the outside noise instead of focusing on how to create a system that will work for the both of you, your marriage can't survive, because there are too many outside noise. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.